I need to buy some gifts here. Well, I'm not sure I could pull off wearing such a gorgeous necklace. Nonsense. I know this isn't your usual style, but I was certain it would suit you the moment I saw it. So please, try it on. If you insist. I don't mean to give you the wrong impression, Rean. I couldn't be happier to receive such a lovely gift. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. The pleasure is mine. What do we have here? A hunting cap? It's very well made and stylish to boot. Not the most enthusiastic reaction, but I'll take it. You think you'll get some use out of it? Definitely. Once things calm down, would you like to go hunting with me and my falcon? I'll think of something that would give you in return by then. Sure, that'd be fantastic. I'll be looking forward to it. Great work today, Lee, say. From all accounts, the meeting went rather well. Yes, I suppose, but the real issue is what happens next. There are likely to be sacrifices on our side, just like with Estrella. Those with power have an obligation to use it responsibly. The end result matters not, so long as the Hexen clan fulfill this duty. That sounds familiar. It's what you told me when I first met you. You're going to bring that up? That was ages ago. It's embarrassing to even think about. Why do you always know just how to push my buttons? Oh, what happened? Loki, you get it, don't you? The reason the hot spring got messed up was because you didn't clean it. No, you're bad. Think about what you did. How is Loki supposed to clean the hot springs? Why is there miasma coming from it? Is it cursed? Ah, there you are. You certainly didn't waste any time. Looks like there's something strange going on with the water here. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but something feels off. Is it an abnormality in the spirit veins, maybe, caused by the Great Twilight? You always know how to cut right to the chase, don't you? Essentially, yes, that is the case. The spring is actually linked by spirit vein to hot spots of mana all throughout Erebonia. The Twilight seems to be the most likely cause of the corruption here. We could simply have Rose purified by force, but our mana is far too strong for that. An unskilled hand could throw things all out of balance. So what I'd like to do here is conduct a proper purification ritual. I think I get where this is going. As for what we can do, though, I assume you want us to go to each of those spots you mentioned. Exactly right. It will take no small amount of effort. But the situation isn't particularly severe, either. I have no problem holding things off for a moment if you're busy. What do you say? Well, accept. We'd be more than happy to help. We've made some good use of these springs ourselves, after all. Where exactly are we headed, and what do we do once we get there? I believe these should answer your question. Ash stake times 3. Ash, of all woods, is particularly conductive of mana, right? Right, I'd like for you to drive a stake into each location where these abnormal phenomena are occurring. Doing so should allow us to conduct the purification ritual from here. My divinations were able to scry 3 of these hotspots. The first is close to Ulster. Make your way to Osgiliath Basin and you'll soon be near it. The next lies around Milsante. It should be somewhere on the path leading towards the hills. And finally, there's one Brionia Island, though where exactly I can't be too sure. The divinations mark its location as the center of the isle. I imagine it may be hidden amidst the terrain. Got it, just leave all the searching to us. We'll try not to keep you waiting. Much appreciated. I wish you luck. I see it, but what if the enemies attack me? Well, I'm over-leveled for them, so it should be fine. This must be the place. Didn't take us long to find this one, huh? Yes, it's just like the hot spring in Eryn. It must be connected to the spirit veins. Oh, I see. It's the same place. Are you okay, Instructor Rean? Do you know something about this place? Just a little. I was passing through on an assignment for the government. I went for one night to do some training and discovered this spring. No one was around, so I got right in and enjoyed myself for a while. Of course, back then it wasn't this weird color. Weren't you on a mission? You did all that while I was asleep back at the inn? Dude, you like hot springs way too much. It's very much like your instructor to go into a random hot spring he came across while training. Anyway, when I came back the next day, there was no sign of it anywhere. Asking around town, they said it sounded like a fairy spring from their old folk tales. I guess it must be connected to Eryn somehow. A hot spring that disappears and reappears at random. It does sound like something out of a fairy tale. Well, I'm pretty sure we've got the right place. Let's try in the stake Dallier gave us. Okay, this looks good. Now we only need to find the other 2 spots. Alright. Right here. Whoa, finding a hot spring here of all places. Pretty wild. This is it, right? Right, this place has to be connected to Eryn through the spirit veins. This is a pretty choice spot. It's close to the tracks, but not out in the open, so it still feels private. The wind rolling over the hills and the sound of the occasional passing train could really add to the atmosphere. Sometimes I forget just how enthusiastic you get about hot springs, instructor. Yeah, could be the perfect place to crack open a cold one with the boys. Focus, everybody. Let's try even the steak that Dallier gave us. That's 2 down. Only 1 left, guys. Let's do this. Group found a second hot spring and drove the ash steak into it. Okay, there are 2 quest events here for some reason. Weird. What this entire path is a hot spring. There it is. Wow, of all the places for it to be. But there's no mistaking that color. Yes, this place must be connected to the Eryn village through the spirit veins. The naturally occurring hot springs. Nature sure is wonderful. It's a good size too, considering it's connected to the other side. Once it's purified, we should all come back here and... Instructor Rean, control yourself. Please calm down, Instructor. Maybe we can get everyone together for an SSS vacation sometime. Anyway, we should get on with the driving in the stakes. Let's get to work out which side we should need to do it from. And that's the last one. This should be enough to begin a purification ritual. Let's head back to Eryn and check in with Dallier. Group found the third hotspot spring and drove the ash stake into it. I see you've driven the 3 stakes in as I requested. Magnificently done. We should begin the purification ceremony at once. Rean, if you would. Me? Yes, you. Your status as a sacrifice to the Twilight allows you to synchronize with Erebonia's spirit veins more readily than most. Entering the spring and unifying your heart and soul with the waters will make the ritual that much easier. It would be even ever more effective if you entered in with a partner. You mean... Wait a second, you can't be serious. There does have to be someone of a particular gender or someone exceptionally special to Rean. Those things are of no relevance whatsoever. The ritual aligns with the macrocosm of the world spirit veins with the microcosm of humanity, causing them to resonate together. The process is simply easier with 2 participants rather than just 1. That's all there is to it, I guess. No reason to feel embarrassed, right? After all the prep work we've put into this, you can't expect to turn back now. Go ahead and choose someone, instructor. Alright, just give me a moment to think it through. Even the guest characters can be chosen. I'm starting to almost feel self-conscious here. Definitely switches up the vibe, huh? Never thought I'd see you flustered. Guess we'd better get this underway then. I wonder if we can actually revisit these points for healing. Thus, the Eryn village hot springs completely purified. The hot springs discovered elsewhere are also purified and can now be used freely. Serum capsules a reward. Still mad the cat? You Now I have to enter with Tio and Randy in the party. You performed very well indeed, Rean. You managed to keep your concentration up the entire time. A fantastic display if there ever was one. And it was thanks to your efforts that I was able to complete the ritual of ease. Well, I've honed my concentration quite a bit with all the training I've had. That's good to hear. We can't downplay the role of a camaraderie and compatibility either. One mustn't forget to thank those around us. Oh, and the hot spots that you found. The spirit veins should have purified them too, which means they should be usable as hot springs. I know you may not have much time in the area, but why not take the opportunity for a good soak? Rean and the Urs enjoyed the hot springs and took their time resting in the village. By some stroke of fate, an unexpected combination of people ended up soaking in the springs together. Ah, this is amazing. You said it, I missed this place. Was a damn shame they closed it down for a while because of all the Great Twilight commotion. You must be happy, Instructor Rean. I imagine a hot spring maniac like you would be going into withdrawals with it down. You sure have your quirks, love for hot springs and Elise. You morph into a whole different person when it comes to her. Really? I never realized. Elise and I spent a couple of weeks together. She's one of the sweetest girls I've ever met. How can I put it? She has that Erebonian dignity about her, but is still so approachable. I appreciate hearing that, Tio. She still has room to grow, just like anyone else, but she really is incredible. I thank Adios every day for having the perfect sister. Well, he's past the point of no return, ain't he? That's really saying something, given that they're not even blood-related. Makes me feel bad for Elise, getting so smothered with all that attention, though it's possible she likes it. I'm starting to think Rean and Lloyd share some things in common, despite their main differences. How so? Let me guess, they're both clueless when it comes to interpersonal relationships. You know, I really have to thank you again, Tio, Randy, for sticking with me this long. What brought this on? No need to thank us. We instructors gotta look out for each other, right? The Crossbow Police and F-Science Foundation can't turn a blind eye on what's happening in the Empire. Not to mention my home country, Remiferia. It's been dragged into all this chaos as well. Oh yeah, we did have a bad feeling about that. And we've run into some people that seem to be involved. Well, all that aside, you do have my utmost gratitude for helping me get Elise back. Assuming we eventually sort out this mess, will you all do me the honor of visiting my hometown, Ymir? And that invitation extends to everyone in the SSS, once the matter of Crossbell regaining its independence is settled too. Oh. Thanks, Rean. That means a lot from Instructor Rean. I agree with him. As complex of an issue it may be, I believe Crossbell should be independent. And I imagine that the same is true for many others in Class 7 and Force. I really appreciate that, Kurt. So your hometown's known as the Hot Springs of Paradise, isn't it? The best Erebonia has to offer from what I heard from Elise. If that's the case, I'd really like to bring along Kia and everyone else in the special support section, and maybe a few others. Noel, Fran, Risha, and Soldier and Ilya. Oh, you can't forget Cecile and Shizuku, of course. I mean, why stop there? Gotta bring the Chief, Wazi, and Jones Sir, Arios, and Dudley too. And let's not leave out Zeit and Kope. Everyone is welcome. I know an inn up there, the Phoenix Wings, that has plenty of rooms. Helena, Luna, Claire, where are you? I've been waiting and waiting. They couldn't have gone to the wrong place, could they? We were to meet at their favorite inn. Pardon me, we're here about your request for help. Excellent. Wait, were you not the kind students who once found my wife's lost wallet? I guess that might have been us. Well, anyway, will you help me find my family? It may be a bit time-consuming if that's alright. Sure, why don't you tell us the whole story? Now, where should I begin? Even we nobles have been rather busy lately with the current situation going on. I've been liquidating some of my assets to raise funds for the army. My wife's family has been doing the same. She returned to her father's estate to supervise the liquidation, taking our daughter and our maid with her. Oh, I see now. You must be feeling lonely without them. I am, yes, but it's only temporary. It's nothing compared to what families of the average soldier have to endure. Anyway, everything was more or less sorted. And I thought the chance to meet up with them could be a break for us all, so I sent them this letter. I'm so glad you're finally coming home. I'll meet you halfway so we can travel together from there. I'll see you at the inn that serves the those pies you love so much in our favorite town to relax in. I've been waiting here, but there's been no sign of my wife or our daughter. Maybe your directions were too vague. Did it get lost in the way? Were they caught up in some incident? I'm so worried, my stomach's in knots. I completely understand. Are you sure your wife knew this was where you meant? Absolutely, their chicken pies are unforgettable. Nothing extravagant, but the flavor was simply perfect. My wife and daughter loved them. That might be true, but your letter sounded really vague. Maybe your family went to a different place that also has good pies. We don't mean to be dismissive of your worries, sir, but this does seem like the most likely explanation. That hadn't crossed my mind. I thought this was the only place it could possibly be, but... Well, you seem to be experts at this kind of thing. Please find my family. We will, I promise. In their favorite town to relax in, and they like the pies. Well, this is probably a good place to start looking. It's gotta be somewhere as quiet and peaceful as Parm, at least. Ulster and Milsante are likely candidates as well. There's also a place on the road to La Mer, but I guess that doesn't count as a town. The town has to have an inn with great pies too. That's something to go on, at least. Unbelievable. White Birch Inn. What is keeping my husband, Luna, and Eclair? I really want to eat this place's fish pie with the whole family. Do you think this could be it? Yeah, it might be one of Lord Quinn's family members. Pardon me, may we ask you a question? Her explained that we're searching for members of Lord Quinn's family. So you mean my husband is weighing in Parm? I mean, I really love Parm, but... Did you forget about how we all talked about how Milsante and its beautiful scenery is the best? My husband even said that this inn is the best because he'll fix up a fish pie using the fish we catch as a family. I can't believe it. He just does whatever comes to his mind. Guess I didn't expect this. I think they've completely misunderstood where they were supposed to be meeting one another. Is that why Luna and Eclair aren't here too? Everyone has a difference of opinion here. Preference, just like in keyboard communities. Now you mention it, your daughter and the maid aren't here with you, huh? Yeah, so there was some luggage I wanted to sort out, so they left before I did. So that's what happened. They may have gone to the wrong town as well. Somewhere else. I can't think of anywhere else it could be. This is Luna we're talking about, so it's entirely possible she completely ignored the town part of the directions. Understood. In that case, we'll continue to look for them. Thank you for your help. Okay, where... Ulster, Oldemere Road, Rest Lodge. Okay, there's Rex. Are they upstairs? Yes, they are. What's taking Mother and Father so long? Don't they know how long it's been since we've all been together as a family? Lady Luna, are you sure we're in the right place? Master Quinn's letter told us to meet at the inn that serves those pies you love, in our favorite town to go and relax. Of course I'm sure. Besides, this is the only inn in town. And the pie they serve at this lodge is some of the best I've ever tasted. That's Lord Quinn's daughter and maid right there, isn't it? Sorry to interrupt, but we might be able to help you out. You didn't explain Lord Quinn's search for his family. What, Fire's actually waiting at the inn in Parm? I guess the chicken pot pie they have there is pretty tasty. I knew this couldn't have been where he meant. Sorry for putting you to all this trouble. Have you found Mother someplace else already? Yep, we ran to her in Milsante at the White Birch Inn. I knew it, that place is the best fish pie in all of Mare. Their menu could give this place a real run for its money. But I'd still rather have the walnut pies from here any day. Glad to hear it. In any case, let's get you two back to Lord Quinn over in Parm. Helena, Luna, Eclair. I was still worried about you. I fear you got lost or that something happened to you. I'm still shaking from the nerves. Bother, I had no idea. Sorry for worrying you so much. It's entirely my fault, sir. I should have been the one taking the lead. Dear, I'm so sorry we made you worry. To think you end up causing you so much stress. There's nothing to forgive, my love. I'm just so relieved to see you. As I am you, but I have to tell you this, dear. The description you gave us, favorite town, the pies we love so much. Anyone would think it was the White Birch Inn at Milsante. It was you who went to the wrong place, not us. What are you saying? I obviously meant the White Footpath Tavern Inn in Parm. I thought you meant No Say Let Rest Lodge. Miss, each location we visited on your family trip was a most wonderful place. Eclair's right. It's just as Eclair says, isn't it? When it comes down to it, every place we visited could be a contender for favorite, couldn't they? I suppose. Once this war is over, we should travel together again. With proper directions. Let's continue making precious memories as a family. We'll discover more and more places we like as well, okay? What a wonderful idea. Yeah, I can't wait. I'd be honored if I could accompany you all. Thank you so much for finding my family. Without your help, it might have taken days or even weeks before we were reunited. A mere debt. It was our pleasure. We can imagine how terrible it is to be separated from your loved ones. I'm just glad we were able to be of assistance. I hope you'll always get along as well as you do now. Impenetrable shield? An earth type. I think this one might give defensive stats and adamantine guard. Yes. Should be a new recipe here. Ulster plate. Sandy's left at last then. She's never been one to do anything worrisome before. She's all we've got, you know. As an instructor, I didn't think that Sandy's ability to adapt quickly to things is something that makes her very reliable. Whatever her reasons are, I'm sure they're worth trusting. You're right. Why, hello, you two. You back again today, are we? I take it you're here to continue your little meeting. Indeed, we've come with information regarding Imperial citizens spotted near Liberal. For my part, I received a letter from Marcus Hyams that I think you'll find interesting. Eleanor, if anyone else arrives, I trust you will take care of them. Of course, dear. Sounds like you could be at it for a while. Allow me to prepare you a little snack. What a wonderful idea. Allow me to lend you a hand. If only to pick your brains to what ingredients you use to keep your skin looking so radiant. Yes, thank you very much. If Eleanor is with her, Margarita won't be able to slip anything dubious into the food. Okay, I have 2 new peculiar dishes. Curry.
Oh my! Thank you ever so much!
Okay, battle dish. This is actually really good for... it's actually not good for both healing and magic reflecting at the same time.
Thank you ever so much!
Okay, that's it for now.
Sorry for the trouble. Sorry.
Okay, back to Edel. I see, I'm glad Bridget is doing alright. Yeah, I wish I could say the same for Alan. Still, I got some good intel out of the whole thing though, so that's that's something. Speaking of which, you hear any interesting rumors lately, Edel? Hey, I might have. I could share some of them with you if you would only do a little something for me. Absolutely, anything you want. What you need? A private photo shoot? I can bring out your inner beauty like you wouldn't believe. Is that a yes? Wonderful. I was just heading to my family's estate to water the plants. I could use some help. Oh, is that all? Well, I guess that could make for some good shots too. If not for photography, Rex would only ever have one thing on his mind. But still, Edel and Rex together, huh? Seems like they were just exchanging intel, but maybe there's something there.
You have my deepest gratitude.
Esmeralda salad. Wait, where'd I get that one?
You have my deepest gratitude.
I think I actually bought it from someone else.
You have my Here's a little reward.
Think about this. Oh hey, Blanc and I were actually just swapping book recommendations. I'm throwing my way behind 3 and 9 this time. Have you heard of it? It's rocketing up the charts like no other. If you guys have the time, you should definitely check it out. I can tell this book's been well loved. Thank you, Talia. We'll take good care of it. Left us in quite a cliffhanger back there. Talia and I are practically sisters. We're great friends. She's letting me read the novels that she's writing. It's so exciting. She's always wanted to be an author. Okay. Rean and 9 dug into a mountain cave on the outskirts of Luzet. They had fled from the Emperor as fast as their legs could carry them and were now completely out of breath. As they sat there together, 9 told Free everything she had kept from him up till then. She told him about Ace, about herself, the details of her plan, and finally what really happened in that cave 3 years ago. At the start, Free occasionally chimed in or asked questions, but as the conversation went on, he fell silent. By the end, his head was hung so low that Nine couldn't see his expression. He had been utterly convinced that his friend, his one true friend, had betrayed him, when in reality, Ace had sacrificed his life to ensure Free would survive. And as thanks for that incredibly selfless act, Free had not only killed him, but spent the past 3 years despising his memory. Then came his sister, risking her life to save her brother's killer. Free felt his chest tighten up as a wild mix of emotions ran through his head, threatening to overpower him. He was grateful for being fortunate enough to have 2 people in his life, Ace and Nine, who he could fully trust. At the same time, he felt a bottomless well of anger burst up. Anger at himself, the pathetic excuse for a human being that he was. Guarded by his storm of emotions, his briefing became increasingly ragged. "S, are you crying?" Nine looked unconcerned, having finished her story. She didn't need a response, however. Bree's pained silence spoke volumes. "I'm fine," he said, returning to his usual blunt tone. "Is there anything I could do to make you feel better?" Nine asked. "I said I'm fine." Despite his words, Bree's head still hung very low. "You're an awful actor, but you're even worse liar when you're not performing, you know that?" Free sunk down to his knees. Nine moved over to him, taking his head in her hands. She began gently ruffling his hair like a mother comforting a child. "Everything's okay now," she murmured gently. "It's all okay." "But Free stammered, his voice growing weak and hoarse. The last bits of Free's facade broke down, overwhelmed by Nine's kindness, and he relented at last. Nine was younger than Free and definitely looked the part, but in that moment she showed an almost motherly level of understanding and compassion. For someone like Free, who grew up without that warmth, it was his first time being comforted by someone. His first time feeling the warmth of a family. "I know how strong you've had to be, S. I know how hard it's been. For so long. But it's okay now, I promise." No longer able to hold his emotions back, he finally broke down. A lifetime's worth of tears came flooding out of his eyes all at once. Such a wretched excuse for he sobbed, no longer able to control his voice in the slightest. Hot tears poured down his cheeks, staining the cool floor of the cave. "That's not true. You know that's not true," Nine said softly, continuing to run her fingers through his hair. "Why am I still alive? Why isn't Ace here instead?" He weakly slammed his fist against the ground in frustration. "Not another word of that. I won't hear it. You're the one who's been there for me the past 2 years. You, S. It's because of me that Ace... Listen, that means you need to fight twice as hard now. You're living for him too now." Bree's words failed him as he was overtaken by sobbing, his years of pain and suffering pouring out of him. After some time, Free was able to calm himself down somewhat and regain his composure. "I'm here for you, so you don't have to cry," Nine told him. "If you ever want to, that's okay too." "So which is it then?" Free retorted, his detached demeanor creeping back. He suddenly became aware of the fact that he was in her arms and hurriedly pulled away. He immediately turned the conversation back toward exchanging information in an attempt to mask his sudden embarrassment. They finished catching up and turned their attention to their current predicament. The Overseer had figured me out. He knew I was going to try and make a run for it. That's why he moved to strike first, in order to outmaneuver him, Free thought out loud. "That's right, I've been watching the whole time, waiting for the perfect opportunity to take him down. I wish you told me beforehand. I'd let you spoil the element of surprise with your awful acting skills?" Nine gave a wry grin. "Yeah, I don't think so." Bree's face scrunched up a bit. Both Nine and the Emperor had conned to his plan, so there was little room to defend himself in that regard. "I chose the moment he'd be the most distracted," Nine continued, switching to the serious expression. "My timing was perfect, and my preparations were more than enough. Yet despite all that, despite everything, despite being buried under a pile of massive boulders, the Emperor was still very much alive. No matter how much he fought, Nine simply couldn't figure out how it was possible." "It's likely his power at work," Free said. "He said the same thing earlier, right as they took off running. What exactly is his power? I'm fairly certain he can control gravity somehow," Bree said. "He did something similar 3 years ago, when Ace and I fought him." Bree wrenched open a bitter, painful memory, and began relaying what he remembered to Nine. He and Ace had been able to fend off the first 2 pairs of assailants sent after them by the organization. It was then that they faced the Emperor, however. Even with the element of surprise on their side, even when they coordinated their attacks perfectly, visiting him proved exceptionally difficult. They found their bodies heavy and clumsy, and their movements lacking precision and skill. The Emperor, on the other hand, was nimble as could be, almost inhumanly so, and the 2 were quickly overpowered. "So what do you think?" Free looked at Nine, awaiting her input. "There was no sign of him starting any cast or charge up, so I doubt he's using arts," she said, her brow furrowed in thought. "As for a portable gravity manipulation device small enough for a single person to carry and conceal, well, given modern technology, it's seriously hard to imagine. He might have an artifact or something like it. An avalanche couldn't kill him, and he has enough precise control to be able to move individual stones and boulders." Nine scratched her head in frustration. Damn it, we really don't have a lot to go on here." She paused, thinking a moment more, and then continued. "In any case, unless something major changes, he's too powerful for us. Any attempt at a direct attack is going to result in our deaths." They fell silent for a time until Free spoke up, a grave expression on his face. "The time comes when we have to choose. We're going to prioritize your life, Nine. You need to be the one to kill—" "Stop it!" Nine silenced Free with an outburst of pure emotion, far more raw than her usual self. "But then at least you'll be able to—" "If you die, I'm going right after you," she shouted. "I'll do it myself if I have to." The calm, utterly voice from before was nowhere to be seen. Nine was in a frenzy now, almost like a child throwing a tantrum. Regardless of her tone, however, her words were heartfelt and earnest. I can't go back to not being able to sleep, her voice dropped in a whisper. I can't go back to being alone. The way of her feelings was clear and free. Seeing this, he let out a short sigh. You have my word. No matter what happens, I'll protect you. That's not what I'm asking for. Okay, you're right, Free said, taking a deep breath. And I promise we'll survive this. We'll get through this together. Nine looked at Free with imploring, almost pleading eyes. You swear? I swear, he said. Now, if we're going to have any chance at all, we're going to need to do everything perfectly. The rock slide was massive enough that, despite the fact that he survived it, it was hard to imagine the Emperor was completely unscathed. If they tried to flee now, the organization would find them again, and they would have to contend with the Emperor at his full strength. So that was their only chance? The pair knew if they were going to make a move, now was the time. Let's do it then, we'll take him out. To be continued. Okay, I need to do something to get a new fishing option. Let's see. Rean, is that you? I haven't seen you since our fishing competition way back when. How about that? You seem really different somehow. Hey guys, nice to see you again. Hold on, aren't you from the Crossbow branch of the Fisherman's Guild? What are you doing so far from home? We're traveling across the Empire on an environmental survey. Though we're really only at Lake Gala because Lake Lord gave us some juicy info. There's a guardian here. Oh, those beautiful black scales gleaming in the wake of the waves. I'm so happy I got to see this before I go. I feel like I can find the courage to face the battlefield now. Oh no. Yeah, Copan was drafted. After our last survey today, he's headed to the conscription office in Crossbell. To tell the truth, it hasn't sunk in yet. It just doesn't feel real. But you know what? I figure a peaceful world where people can kick back and fish is something worth fighting for. I see. Oh, don't act so gloomy. You know I'm no good at this serious stuff. So, we saw a fish from the bridge over the lake. It looks so dark and imposing, just what you'd expect from something called a guardian. If you've got the time, it's more than worth your while to cast your line here and see how it goes. Cool, thanks for the tip. Maybe I'll take a look later. Lake Gala By Road. And I should also check out the shrine. All the way down there? No. Is it? Yeah, it's the one marked on the bridge. Hold on, what if I go to Luna's shrine first? Use that as a bit of a shortcut. Anything happen if I go all the way down? Not really.
There! Got a bite!
Whoa.
This is promising.
That's huge. Hope I don't break my line. Ugh. Wow, that was bad. Oh, never mind, I managed to get it. I guess because I had all the upgrades, I managed to barely pull through. Estrella. Bunch of Sepith. This must be the guardian Peter told me about. I guess I should report in just in case. Where to catch a Peter and Copan? Oh, so it's a large black perch, and Estrella then. Hooking that beast must have taken a lot of skill. Right, this kind of fish doesn't swim along every day. Even the guild's master fishers would have trouble bagging one of these babies. You're practically a divine angler now. Now, I just got lucky, that's all. No need to be so humble. We're really gonna have to step up our game now. Drop by when you get a chance. We'll have your reward waiting. Thanks. So I can turn this in for something big. Sell fish. Deep ochred, a defensive type. Anton? She's a woman in a maid's uniform with hair the color of lavender. She's not wearing her maid uniform anymore, though. Have you seen anyone like that? The smallest thing could be a huge help. Back off, Jack. Ain't no maids around here. What kind of place do you think this is anyway? Go on, get out of here. I'm begging you, I've been looking so long, I'm already grasping at straws. Haven't you heard anything, even a rumor? Come on, get it together. I hate to see a grown man cry. If it's a maid you're looking for, wouldn't you be better off asking around in town? I thought so too, but Oris isn't the easiest place to get into right now. They don't let any old traveler come waltzing in anymore. They actually threw me out, can you believe it? Picking up the search close by was the best I could do. And after getting kicked out of the city, you thought you could try your luck at a fortress. Maid hunter, no. A civilian like you has no business wandering around here. Now hit the road. Is that Anton? Oh, he's been asking around, even asking around way out here. You've got to admire his tenacity. I can't imagine Sharon to be in a place like this, though. This guy's following me on my way back from training. I had to get down from the tank to shoo him off. Ugh, what a pain. If this escalates any further, I'll have to bring him in. Wish he'd give it a rest already. What happens if I try getting near a bridge? They probably turn me back, right? A soldier's pride will only allow for so much. Getting closer would just be tempting fate. From what I've heard, there's some trouble stirring up over at Forest main campus too. The Arc Royale's gone missing, along with some of the students. The vice principal classified it as an official leave of absence, but all the instructors the government sent over seem pretty on edge. So that's what was going on at the main campus. That means it wasn't just a Durflinger that escaped then, right? You seem to know a lot. Oh, I see. Now, you've got a connection to a certain information broker to keep you in the loop. Well, he caught me. The information Oberyn Trista's on a whole other level of skill than any I've seen. Makes you almost jealous of what they can get away with. It sounds like they're working on procuring weapons and keeping up a pretty lucrative trade. I guess that's not so different from here. I see. Yep, that's Mick. Alright. Vice Principal Heinrich and the others are keeping things under control as best they can. There shouldn't be any problems over here. There. Well, it isn't the Forest Gang and... Sweet Adios, is that the Ashen Chevalier? It sure is. Is that new hair some sort of disguise? I hardly really recognize you. No, this is just my hair now. You're those journalists from the Crossbell Times, right? Grace and Ryan, the rest of us saw them 2 weeks ago. Yeah, back when we helped out with the survey. Anyway, why are you guys on this side of the border? Why indeed, it's quite the story. Or at least it will be once I get picked up for this extra special interview I'm doing at an extra special place. Grace, I think you've shared quite enough details already. And while I'm giving you notes, try not to cause too much chaos while you're over there, okay? I won't be able to cover for you this time. Oh, Ryan, don't be such a worrywart. I can handle myself. Man, now I'm really curious. I can respect needing to keep things quiet. Just be careful, like Ryan said. We'll see. Thanks, though. Maybe we could get your whole Forest crew together for an interview sometime. At any rate, we really should be going. Hey you, what was all that about showing them what you're made of? You're trying to pick a fight with me, huh? No, of course not. I was talking about Calvard, you know, the war and everything. And that's how you drum up business? Have some class, you rat-ass bastard. Who is this girl think she is, lecturing me about class? I'm guessing you still haven't found that cargo boy. Yeah, I just wish I had some kind of lead. Oh, this is seriously pissing me off. I get it, but that's no reason to take out your frustrations on other people. Best of luck in your search. We'll keep an eye out for him too. Looks like a good deal. Payment sounds fair. I've got no objections. Thanks, I'll pass on your comments. You gonna want any armor with that? I can hook you up with a good deal. Yeah, I better take a full set. This next job is going to be hard work. Looks like they're in the middle of something. That customer looks like a Jaeger. What could he be doing here? It's probably best not to get involved. It's so weird seeing people like that walking around like normal. I'd rather not stick around too long. Finally, a break from all the work. Once this contract is over, I should give the roulette wheel a spin, or maybe I'll take a little downtime in the club. Oh, I was going to prepare some medicine, but I dropped the bottle. When I bent down to pick it up, I stepped on the hem of my skirt and tripped. I also got caught up in the tablecloth, and then when I fell, all the medicines and tools went flying too. Strange, I've been messing up so much lately. The curse? Lately, you've been as clumsy as long as I've known you. Odd, the same thing happened at Riviera Court in Ortis. Another symptom of the Great Twilight, perhaps. I was just joking, guys. I wasn't being serious about the curse being behind it. No. Your fisherman's paella was incredible, my dear. Thank you so much for making it for us. That's sweet of you to say. I just made it the way I've seen it prepared, so I'm glad it wasn't too bad. This is so embarrassing, but can you tell me your name again, dear? Charlotte Rackham, ma'am. Names can be so difficult to remember, can't they? Charlotte, it was on the tip of my tongue. Seeing my Yuta make friends with a person as sweet as you really makes this old heart sing. I'm very happy that you're so close to him and Mina. The pleasure is all mine, believe me. So surprised when Charlotte first came over. She's a noble, but she cooks like a real chef, and she even helps with chores. And even locally, she had fun when we went to pawn shops and those restaurants. I never guessed a noble would like those things. Right, Charlotte's real special. So does this mean you guys are dating? What's that supposed to... Charlotte and I are just friends. Let me think of it. I'm pretty sure I saw Count Rackham at the entrance. So Charlotte is somewhere in this town? Indeed, sir. Several people I interviewed have seen her. I see. If it were just a matter of her not returning to the hotel, I would have left this in your hands. But in a town so full of temptations as this, I must take action myself. I'll get in touch with my connections and see if they can find her. Lopar, return to your search. Do not fail me. As you wish, sir. Gasco's been drafted into the army as a military engineer, so I'm looking after the workshop instead. I'm glad he trusts me enough to leave me in charge. I'd hate for this to be the last time we see each other, though. I mean, there's so much more I want to learn from him. Huh? Bridget, Instructor Mary, I didn't think we'd run to you here. Class 7, what a pleasant surprise. Bridget and I were just catching each other up on what we've been able to learn recently. Now I'm curious. Bridget, how's Alan been doing since? He's been getting crazier, probably. Basically the same. Actually, no, it's somehow gotten worse. He put in a request for a transfer. He wants to leave the 4th Division and go right to the front lines. Bridget, I'm sorry, I really don't mean to worry you. Alan's situation is distressing, but for now, I just have to try to bring him around. On a brighter note, I have some hope inspiring info to share. Might even be able to use it to help the students of the main campus. Thank you, Bridget. And I'm sure Alan will come around. Deep down, he knows how he feels. Try to stay strong. You're right, I can't give up yet. Sounds like she's got her hands on some useful intel. This stuff about Alan sounds worrying, but we'll just have to leave him to Bridget for now. Being here makes me feel closer to Eidios. I know she can hear my prayers. Hey, I wonder if Randy will recognize her. Randy and Tio. I pray she'll watch over those important to me, regardless of their position or nationality. Oh, forgive me for rambling to you out of the blue. She really reminds me of someone. Don't you think so, Tio Tot? This is the first time I've met her, but you're right, there's a familiar air about her. Yeah, maybe if we brought Lloyd along. Nah, I don't know if he'd be able to recognize her either, given that he failed to recognize that Ellie was the mayor's granddaughter that one time.
Here to make a report? It appears your rank has increased.
Okay, rank A3.
Here's a small token
Z
of our
Stragus.
appreciation. Great work, everyone! Best of luck on your next endeavors.
Am I on the right track?
Let's check. Wow, you got so many!
I'll send a reward.
I'll take a look. Wow, these results are amazing.
I'll send you a reward. How close are we to the next threshold?
So many! Thank you very much.
I'll send along your bonus reward.
Here to make a... Great work, everyone!
It's not enough. Alright, done all I could. I'll just go ahead and start this. Our designated meeting point is a buffer airspace above the borders of Erebonia, Calvard, and Liberal. I've already charted our course. Should we depart and rendezvous with the Pantagruel? Once we depart, the story will progress. Please note content such as quests and time-limited events will disappear. I already did pretty much all of those, of course. Understood. I'll call everyone together then. Got it, thanks. I also have everyone with somewhat decent setups. Once Class 7 and the rest of the crew had each finished up the remaining affairs, the Merkaba then began to make its way toward a designated meeting point. Neutral airspace above the border. Merkaba number 8. This is the Pantagruel speaking. Your ship is now permitted to dock. Please follow the beacon. Understood. Initiating automated boarding. Wow, we really are over a freeway border, if only just barely. The non-intervention zone should span the entire surrounding area, supposedly. Not much chance for interference when you're straddling free entire countries, huh? Yep, plus it's off the invasion route into the Republic. It makes for a pretty effective blind spot. But did we really have to go all the way here just to find out what Mille Mirage is about? They're here. Enter the front runners. Other airships. Pantagruel landing craft. A certain country's latest model of gunship, Eiyuu. Scout ships from the Pantagruel, and more from the northeast and south. The northeast and south could be? That makes their origins clearest, geographically speaking. But in that case, the ship coming from the east must be a new state-of-the-art military gunship from the Republic, courtesy of the Verne Company. That's right, complete with a higher carrying capacity and expanded cruising range. So many people from so many different regions gathered together for one purpose. Musa, does this mean all these people are...
Indeed. Important figures from each one of our neighboring countries. The Kingdom of Laboral, the Principality of Remiferia, and even the Republic of Calvard. And if all goes to plan, we'll have a few special guests from the Bracer Guild and the SSS join us too.
Pantagruel frontal hold. It's been about a month, hasn't it? Oh right, this is where you escaped from, right Ash? Wow, this ship is huge. Hey, that's a Bobcat too. It's just like Josette said.
So, you showed up after all.
Brigadier General Bardius, you look well.
As do you, Schwarzer. Despite everything General Le Guin and Miss Clotilda tell me you've been through. Your Highness, Lady Angelica, it's a pleasure to have you back safely with us.
Thank you, Brigadier General. We appreciate it. Who'd have thought we'd be meeting here on the Pantagruel at a time like this?
Agreed. Things have taken a real turn since Ordis's last provincial council. What happens here today could very well change the course of history.
Wow, the course of history? Quite the assemblage then. Indeed it is. In fact, some of our guests have already arrived. Though many of them are simply here to observe.
Follow me, everyone.
Pantagruel guest area. Wow, Incredible doesn't even begin to describe this place. Actually, haven't you and Instructor Rean been here before, Allie? It's a bit of a long story, but I shall not reveal the details of his misconduct during that occasion. Rean? Rean, what did you do? It was a misunderstanding. I'm not entirely convinced. I'm sure he didn't have impure intentions. That's the whole problem. His heart is too pure. As I told you before, Rean, nobody likes a goody two-shoes. Heh, you got that right. You guys just not... We've known for a while of your unsociable ways. Yeah, we already accepted the fact that you're completely clueless about other people's feelings, Rean. Yeah, Rean's got all the luck, though. All the bad luck, I'd say. This brings back memories. Rean carried me in his arms once. Oh right, forgot about that. Man, there was a lot going on that day. I doubt anyone that day expected that sort of daring escape from you. Wow, that must have been so cool. Rean, you hound. You really can't judge a book by its cover. Guys like you and Lloyd are really something else. Leave some charm for the rest of us, will ya? Instructor Sarah, Toa, requesting permission to burst into tears. Permission denied. This just means everyone likes you, Rean. You're a lucky man, Rean.
Wow. Well, looks like the party's already started.
Kinda feels like this meeting was a long time coming, huh?
Well, I'll be.
Took you guys long enough.
Long time no see, Tita.
Have you grown a few, Reach? Or am I imagining things?
Estelle, Joshua, and...
Hello again, Tita. Remember our promise?
Ren! Oh, you guys. You have no idea how happy I am to see you.
Don't you get me started, too.
So melodramatic. And here I thought you two'd have grown out of this by now.
You're one to talk. I can see you getting a little choked up yourself. Seems like you've been holding up pretty well, Agate.
As if there was any doubt. We're making progress, don't get me wrong. But there's still a lot left to take care of.
All the more reason to stay on top of our game from here on.
Oh, Sarah! You're here too!
Nice to see you again. It's been too long.
Man, it sure has. What's it been, like 3 years since you were last here in the Empire? Oh yeah, let me introduce you to Fee. Sup?
Fee? Like, the Fee? That petite powerhouse they keep talking about in all the guild branches?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Sylphide. As you can see, we've heard all about the work you've been doing.
You can just call me Fee. I've heard a thing or two about you guys, too. You know, from Agate and Sherazard.
Oh yeah? Trust them to embarrass us like that.
Speaking of Shira, we still don't know where she is, do we?
Not a clue. We know she's still alive, at least. Way I figure, if she was in trouble, she'd contact us with that thing she's got.
Right. It's only been about 2 weeks since we last heard from her.
She left Heimdall altogether just after that, didn't she?
Yeah, I've got all the other Erebonia embracers looking out for her too.
Nice tackle, Kia. Lloyd, Ellie, I'm glad you guys managed to come.
Of course. We wouldn't miss this.
Oh, I can't help myself. Come here, you two.
Ellie, I can't breathe.
Oh, Tio, I'm so relieved to see you're okay. Yona's been worried about you too, you know.
Oh, you don't say. That's cool. But also, I could really use some air.
Hoo-wee! The dynamic duo's getting bigger and bigger by the day.
Good to see you, Randy.
Right back at you, Lloyd.
Now hold on a moment. You didn't think I'd just let that little comment of yours slide, did you?
Who's the dynamic duo? Me and Tio? I don't think we got any taller.
No, not crap. Forget I said anything, alright?
Shame on you, Randy. There are children here.
And we didn't forget about you, Yuna. Kia's been telling us about all you've been up to.
We heard you helped set Tio free. I'm so proud of you. Well, that was more Class 7 as a whole. It was just part of our mission. As someone who's always looked up to the SSS, it's so great seeing all of you back together again.
What do you mean? You're one of us too, Yuna. Mm-hmm. You're a lot closer to the SSS than you give yourself credit for.
That's right. You carry on the spirit of Crossbell in a way all your own.
I think we're all aware of how much you look up to the SSS. But you know what? It goes both ways. We're just as proud of you too, Yuna. Every one of us.
Thank you.
Well, at the very least, you've gotten a bit more tame since the first day you bucked into the branch campus.
Come on, Randy! Let me have my moment! Oh, right! Elisa! Over here!
Allie, you look amazing! It's been too long.
I'm so glad you guys finally got the chance to reunite.
Oh, that's right. Elisa and Dallier met up about 3 months ago, huh?
Yep. Elisa's the granddaughter of the Reinford Company's founder, not to mention a Thor's alumnus.
Thank you, Elisa. Though, I don't think I look even half as good as you. Allow me to congratulate you on your reunion as well.
Aw, thanks.
I suppose I'd better introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Rean Schwarzer, graduate of Thor's Military Academy, Class 7. Ellie, Estelle, Joshua. It's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is ours. Elisa's told me quite a bit about you already. Perhaps a bit too much, actually.
Ellie!
We definitely know you by now, after all the stories we've heard. From Tita's letters and Ren, even Olivier and Toval.
I see. It's no surprise you knew His Highness, but I wasn't aware you knew Toval too.
Yup. We met back on our first trip in Erebonia. He helped us out a bunch. It's good to meet you, Rean. This has definitely been a long time coming. Don't worry. You can loosen up around us. We're the same age, more or less, right?
Got it. I think I'll take you up on that. Looking forward to working with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
As are we.
Oh.
It's been a while, Lloyd. How have you been?
Busy, to say the least. It's been crazy this past year and a half. I really owe you for your help during Operation Birdcage. I'm sure I'll get the chance to return the favor, though. I get the feeling we're gonna be seeing a lot more of each other. From here on, Rean, we fight on the same side. As equals.
Instructor Rean?
Honestly, I'm not sure I even deserve to shake your hand. I'm sure you've heard about what I've done. The mistake I made.
Rean.
If it makes you feel better, the other protagonists also got manipulated by their main villains during their story arcs.
It's my fault that the curse spread throughout not only the Empire, but Crossbell too. It's the same with North Ambria and Jirai as well. Even this awful war with Calvard. I have no idea how I can even begin to apologize.
No, Rean. That's wrong. It's my duty as a detective to look beyond what's on the surface. You want to know what I see? I see that this was all a setup from the very start. Nothing you could have done would have possibly changed the outcome. I see a man who, despite it all, never fell to despair. A man who continues to push back, even at this very moment. Not just for Crossbell, or even Erebonia, but for the world itself and all who reside in it. Within you lies the strength of countless allies, helping you move forward through whatever may come. I'd like the SSS to be a part of that, Rean. To be one of those allies there by your side. Empire or Crossbell, where we're from doesn't matter anymore. Now we're fighting for the world itself. Together.
Lloyd. This guy, I swear.
Now I understand why you look up to him the way you do.
Yup. Told you he was great.
Wow. How am I supposed to follow up a speech like that? I'll gladly take your words to heart. It's good to have you with us, Lloyd. I'll be honest with you, our situation is looking grim, and it's only going to get worse from here. But that's never stopped us before. With you on board, we'll overcome every barrier in our way.
You got it.
That goes for us, too. We Liberlians got your back.
I see you've saved me the trouble of rounding you up.
Principal Le Guin.
Right on time. Is everything ready?
Is she?
General Aurelia Le Guin, commander of the Viceland Army.
Wow. I can tell this lady's a serious badass.
That's an understatement. She's one of the greatest swordmasters of our generation.
Bracers of Liberl, Special Support Section. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Aurelia Le Guin. Well met, all of you. I'd love to chat with each of you individually, of course, but time is of the essence. I suspect our other guests are anxious to get things underway.
What?
I knew it.
Well, if it isn't the Special Support Section, I do believe it's been around 2 years since our paths last crossed. Though it would seem Arios is not with you this time around.
A pleasure to see you again, Your Lordship.
Our apologies. Arios had some pressing matters to attend to, though he did make sure to send his regards.
Is that so? I suppose I expected as much. A man in his position seldom has any time to spare. Princess Elphin, I bring you my greetings and condolences both. We received news of Emperor Eugen's condition, as well as the tragedy that befell Prince Olivert. I can only imagine the pain this must put you through. You have my deepest sympathies.
And you have my sincerest appreciation, Your Lordship. I must admit, I didn't expect to be able to meet with you so soon.
Nor did I. A silver lining in the dark cloud that brought us here. Lady Mildine, allow me to thank you once again for the invitation.
The gratitude is ours, Your Lordship. It's an honor to receive you.
Ha ha! This is quite an extraordinary crowd we have here. Correct me if I'm wrong, SSS, but it was 2 years ago that we last met as well, was it not?
Yes, back at the trade conference.
It's good to see you again, sir.
Princess Alphin, Lady Mildine, I don't believe I've ever formally had the pleasure. Though I suppose in a way we aren't entirely unfamiliar with each other. I had the privilege of meeting your brother, you see, back during the conference.
Ah, yes, he mentioned you before. Pleased to finally make your acquaintance. Knowing you're here helps put into perspective the true scale of Operation Mirage.
It's an honor to have you. We do appreciate you taking the time to come. After all, I'm sure you, of all people, have been particularly busy of late, President Rocksmith.
What? No way! So that's how this is gonna go.
I don't even know how to react.
How silly of us. I didn't realize we had neglected to make our introductions.
In that case, allow me to go first. I am Albert von Bartolomeus, Grand Prince of the Principality of Remeferia. It's a pleasure to meet you, students and alumni of Thor's Military Academy.
And I'm Samuel Rocksmith, President of the Republic of Calvard. I'm sure I'm the last person you would expect to see here.
Prince Albert is one thing, but President Rocksmith?
Indeed. And in person, no less.
What's the President of Calvard doing here? We're on the verge of war.
That is exactly why I chose to attend, Machius Regnitz. Ah, and you must be the acting Duke Alberea. And, you're Fee Clausel, correct?
Let me guess. She told you. As I suspected, you work for Calvard's Central Intelligence Department.
That's right. I'm a second lieutenant in the CID, as well as a member of the Special Force Hercules. Thanks for your help before, by the way.
I'm Lucy Sayland, Private Secretary to the Grand Prince. For those of you we met before, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Now I understand. You were investigating Erebonia's internal affairs to prepare for today's meeting.
Wait, back up a sec. If the heads of Remiferia and Calvard are here, then...
There's only one more big nation we're missing.
It would seem they've arrived.
They made it.
Oh, you have got to be shitting me.
Liberl has just as much a stake in this as anyone else, after all.
Oh! It's the Princess of Liberl. And beside her...
Man, today's just full of surprises, isn't it?
Sorry for the delay. I have to say, this is the most luxurious ship I've ever seen.
Thank you once again for inviting us.
I don't suppose you'd get to be a guest character, or would you be considered too OP for that?
My name is Claudia von Auslies. I will be participating on behalf of Queen Alicia II of Liberl. Delighted to make your acquaintance, everyone.
Cassius Bright, Lieutenant General of the Royal Army of Liberl. Unfortunately, we don't really have time for pleasantries. How about we get straight down to business?
This feels more like a summit than an informal meeting of concerned parties. Yeah, but Eustace and Angelica must have known this was coming, right? Yes, Mille planned to include representatives from powers outside Erebonia right from the beginning. But we had no idea who exactly would be invited or in attendance. Turns out Operation Mille Mirage has many influential backers. And the Lieutenant General of Liberl is among them. Cassius Bright, the tactical genius who stopped the Empire's invasion during the 100 Days War. After the war, he left the army and worked as a bracer for a while. And he and my father were good friends. I think I remember something involving him around 4 years ago. Right, when multiple Erebonian branches of the guild were blown up. When the anomalies in started in Liberl, he rejoined the army. And now he's having a friendly chit-chat with the president of Calvard, whose country is about to get invaded by Erebonia. That Muse is an excellent matchmaker. She even reached out to Remiferia. Wow. Remiferia is in a similar situation as Liberl right now. The Empire is pressuring both of them to allow the army safe passage through. Neither are particularly willing to do so, but they fear retaliation should they decline. Refusal could be construed as siding with Calvard. Small nations can afford to be assertive against the overwhelming power of the belligerent Erebonia. Yeah, that'll probably be the main topic of discussion today, I think. While those nations can't openly oppose the Empire, we, along with the bracers in the Special Support Section, are more free to take action. This is a good opportunity to speak with the other parties involved. Not just Liberl and Crossbell, but Remiferia and even Calvard too. Indeed, there's no better time for us to exchange information. It's also the ideal time to speak one's mind freely. After discussions have concluded, I'd like to speak with the Grand Prince and the President myself. You've got guts, I'll give you that, though I wouldn't mind exchanging a few words with them either. And I'd like to talk with Ellie if there's time. And Crown Princess Claudia too. Seriously? Well, I guess this is your best shot at getting close to her. By the way, Ash, don't you and Joshua go way back? Look, that ain't confirmed and I don't really remember him. Still, you two might want to talk and clear things up. Yeah, that's what this thing's all about, isn't it? There's gonna be a dinner after the main talks. We can talk about more personal stuff then. The principal invited us here, so there's no point acting like wallflowers. Yes, let's make the most of it. This could be your last chance to speak to Joshua, too, if this place gets attacked. I should go around and talk to the attendees myself. I definitely want to check in with those from Liberal and Crossbell. Might as well talk to the representatives from Calvard and Remiferia too while I'm at it. Temporarily disbanded, so now I have to talk to everyone to advance the story. Even the people from my own party have red marks. No, we didn't get any new guest characters, so I don't get to see their equipment. Thanks for tuning into this Let's Play of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and or hit the bell icon.